Hokies! Hello, Hokies. It's game day preview time as the Hokies look to get back on track on Senior Day against the Pitt Panthers. John Laser alongside Tech Hall of Famer Mike Burnop as always. And Mikey, that's the big theme today, Senior Day and sending these seniors out on the right note.
Yeah, it's an emotional day. Gosh, think about last year with Coach Fuente coming out there and greeting those players, and tears were flowing. I'll never forget that picture, that still picture of Sam Rogers and Coach Fuente, and they're both bawling their eyes out, and Sam's trying to pull it together, and pastes on a smile there for a minute for the camera. But it is emotional. But yeah, you got to get back on track. It's been a tough stretch here. 2 losses in a row, both on the road. But there's no place like home, and for these guys, I'm sure they'll get jacked up, and the Hokie Nation will be behind them, and hopefully they'll get back on the right foot, getting ready for this game and the UVA game.
Sam Rogers went from tears to touchdowns to a proposal last year on Senior Day. I don't think we need to expect 2 of those 3 things from Cam Phillips, the senior this year. But Mike, this offense looking to get back on track, and I think we both agree that in order to do that, Cam's got to step up in his final game here at Lane Stadium.
He really does, and Josh has got to help him out in that regard. I mean, you think of the game last year in Pittsburgh. It was a wild and crazy game. A lot of drives stalled. There were a lot of one-on-one matchups out there. Joey Sly had to kick 6 field goals when drives did stall. But you think about all 3 of the receivers last year, Ford, Bucky, and Cam, all had at least 6 catches and over 100 yards. It was crazy how the ball was going through the air last year. So I know Cam remembers that. I know he wants to play well on his senior day, and he needs to step up and have a big game, get a little more separation, and make it easier for Josh. But again, all that starts up front. Josh has got to have time to throw the ball.
Looking at the other side of the ball, Bud Foster's lunch pail defense, the injuries have been pretty consistent on the offensive side this year, but starting to bleed a little bit onto the defensive side. Learning this week that Terrell Edmonds will not play, unfortunately, today and the rest of the way for the Hokies. How do they fill his absence? Big shoes to fill, certainly, coming into a game in which you know this unit wants to make a physical statement.
Yeah, and it's hard to replace him. I mean, you think how hard it was to replace Chuck Clark, and yet he was able to go in there and be able to do that. So they're going to be some swapping and swapping around on defense, obviously. And you know, everybody here that is here will tell you, I'm ready to play and I came here to play. Well, now they're going to get their opportunity and step up and play. There may be a myriad of guys in there this week just to see who can get the job done, because Pittsburgh does a lot of things on offense, a lot of motion, a lot of jet sweeps. You got to really be trained with your eyes, and we saw that was a problem last week against Georgia Tech when they were looking a little bit in the backfield, maybe too much or not enough, and some guys got loose for some big plays. So that'll certainly be a point of emphasis. Can the Hokies stop the big play on defense this week?
Seemed like we were just out on the rubber chicken circuit and the kickoff dinners, and here it is, the final home game of the 2017 season at Lane Stadium. Hokies looking to send the seniors outright on Senior Day as they take on the Pitt Panthers. For Mike Burnop, I'm John Laser. That has been your GDP. Hokies!